Today's recipe will be a combination of two totally different items, cabbage and glass noodles. Now, glass noodle is chewy and cabbage is crispy. Glass noodles absorb whatever that you put it together, absorb all the flavors, but cabbage still stays clean and fresh. But when both put it together, it creates a contrasting flavor and texture, and that is exactly what I want to have it today. So for today's recipe, cabbage and glass noodle stir fry. This is a glass noodle, and when I purchase it, before I soak it into water, it is quite brittle. So I need to put it into water, soak it for about 20 minutes, and it becomes quite soft. It becomes like that. Drain it and set aside. And since each strand is quite long, I use a scissor to cut it into shorter pieces. It is easier to stir fry if it is shorter. The next item is dry shrimp. This is a dry shrimp. So I put a dry shrimp into some water, leave it for about 10 to 20 minutes, soften it, and then drain. And it's ready to use. I've also prepared some other ingredients required. This is the ground meat, it's ground pork actually, and spring onion, the white section of the spring onion. And this is chopped ginger, chopped garlic, and some dry chili, which I soak it in water and soften it and cut into small sections. And lastly, cabbage. This is the small cabbage, or we call it a baby cabbage. Wawa chai is pretty small. The cabbage is just like that. But if you don't have the small cabbage, you can use any other kinds of cabbage. It works well too. Cut the cabbage to about half an inch in length. The stir frying process is quite straightforward. Get some oil to saute the aromatics that I have prepared and chop and cut. The white section of the green onion, ginger, garlic and dry chili. Saute it for about half a minute or until it starts to turn aromatic. Then add the dry shrimp. Stir fry until the dry shrimp turns aromatic again and the water that soaked the dry shrimp has all evaporated. Then add the ground meat. Then season it with some salt. And stir fry the meat until it is fully cooked and the color slightly turns to light brown. That creates more flavor. When the meat is fully cooked, now add the seasoning. The first one is 豆瓣酱 or chili bean paste. For this amount, about 1.5 tablespoons, and soy sauce 1.5 tablespoons. A little bit of sugar just to balance the flavor, not too much. And I may need to add a little bit more of salt in anticipation of adding the cabbage afterwards. Stir fry it for a while because the chili bean paste will become more aromatic if I stir fry it for a short while. Now you can see the color start to change due to all the seasonings. Now add the cabbage slowly and some water at the same time. slowly adding all the cabbage until all the cabbage are added into the pan. And definitely we need some water to cook the cabbage. So how long it cooks and how much water you add depends on how tender your cabbage want to be. If you want it to be very crisp, then don't cook it for too long. And it's also the time that do a test to see whether we need to add some extra salt or additional flavor. I'll just add a little bit of the chili bean paste. And a little bit of salt. Just in anticipation, I'm gonna add the glass noodle, which is basically it's not salty at all. The cabbage is already soft, so now I add the final ingredient, that is the glass noodles. The glass noodle will soak up all the flavor from the gravy. Okay, it's done. Let's remove it and transfer it to a serving plate. And don't be fooled about the appearance. It is a very, very flavorful dish. This is my latest recipe with cabbage and with glass noodles. They have a different texture. One is chewy, the other one is crispy, and the combination is pretty unique. And it's flavored with doubanjiang, that is a chili bean paste, Sichuan flavor. If you want to get a recipe, I've included it in the description box below the videos and at the end of this video for your reference. Please subscribe, tap the notification, try it out, let me know the result in your comment section, and I'll see you in some other similar video soon. Bye for now.